This computer terminal provides full access to the L-Cars computer net.
Well, hey guys, welcome to the L-Cars ADV Subspace channel. Well, today is a special day. I just hit 1,000 miles on my 21.5 fse250e. So I came out here to Lake Ontario here, not too far from where I grew up, and we're gonna do a little 1,000-mile review. Why not, huh? All right, let's go, engage. All right, well, this is my third GPX bike that I have owned. I had a 2019 fse250R first, then I owned a 21 fse300R, and then I sold my 300R to buy this fse250e. And I sold it, the 300, for a purpose because I really like the air-cooled goodness like the old Honda XRs used to have. So that's kind of why I bought this bike. And honestly, 1,000 miles later, what do you think, L-Cars? Well, I love it. I love this bike. It hasn't let me down one bit. It has exceeded all my expectations. I can't say enough about this bike, how good it is. It's very versatile, does everything I ask it to and more. And I just can't say enough what GPX did a great job on this bike. And you know, you might ask, what do you think? Why did this compared to the 300R? Well, this year, yeah, you're gonna lose a little bit of power because you're a 250, you know, coming from a 300. But honestly, it's like 80% probably of the power, but the torque is still there. So that's what makes the bike great on the trails, is having that gobs of torque to, you know, take you up a hill or over a log or whatever. You know, it's just great. It tracks very well on the trails. And so yeah, I mean, the 300R was a fantastic bike, but I do like this one better. It feels lighter than the 300R. So you know, I have taken this bike a lot of dual sport events and hundreds of miles on single track trails and you know, down to West Virginia, Hatfield McCoy trails, and you know, rocky trails, flowy single track, you know, technical single track. This bike hasn't let me down. I mean, I love it. I love the light feeling of this bike, you know, being a 250 air cooled. You know, you don't have the radiators and all that stuff, you know, so it definitely the bike definitely feels light to me on the trails anyways. And you know, it's easy to pick up, and I love this engine. I really think it's a great engine. And in my opinion, this bike is the most overlooked bike in GPX's lineup. A lot of people pass this bike over as, oh, it's air cooled, you know, old technology. You kidding me? This bike is one of their best bikes, if you ask me. So you're really missing out. This bike would make a great primary bike or a great backup bike, just because of the cost of the bike. It's cheaper than the other ones. As far as GPX goes, the quality is awesome on these bikes throughout the entire lineup, but this in particular, again, there's no cut corners on the GPX bikes. Everything's quality down to the bolts. Okay, every part on here is quality. So there's no cheap brittle plastics. There's no you know, screws that you know, the bolt heads that break. There's none of that garbage. This bike is quality through and through. And so I just wanted to point that out for a lot of people. Just kind of, GPX seems to be getting a lot of attention because they got bikes available and nobody else does. So, but plus, they're, you know, people are seeing the videos, they're seeing what these bikes do on the trails, and the people are interested. You know, so you may not have $14,000, $13,000, $12,000 to buy a, you know, a Beta, KTM, Sherco, whatever. So, you know, I can buy 2 of these GPX bikes for one of those, and I'm just going to have just as many smiles as they have. So, but yeah, as far as performance goes, I love this engine. It is a fantastic engine, very versatile. Does all the single track trails, technical rocks, hills, if I didn't say it already. I mean, it just climbs up anything. Tracks very well on the trails, and you know, it actually makes a pretty decent dual sport as well. And you know, if you're going to dual sport this bike, I would definitely probably change the gearing a little bit so you're, you know, a little more comfy at 55-60 miles an hour. But honestly, it cruises pretty well at 55-60. You know, ours are around 6,500, 7,000 at 60 probably about. But you know, you get pretty all right gas mileage. I think stock gearing, I had like 52 miles a gallon, and that was like, you know, highway miles and stuff like that. So it makes a pretty all right dual sport. I'd probably change the seat though. You know, it's not really, you know, the bike really isn't a dual sport bike, but you could dual sport it. So, you know, if you really want to dual sport and have the road manners, you know, buy a Honda 300L or something, or a DRZ 400. Better road manners, but again, you're going to lose all the off-road stuff. You always sacrifice something with a dual sport bike. But as far as off-road worthiness, this bike is an enduro bike through and through, and it does it very well. The suspension is fantastic on this bike. Very, very adjustable. Very, it soaks up the bumps. Very, very happy with the SEZ suspension. You know, it's pretty dang close to the WP. Honestly, you can set it up pretty well. You know, you can get the different springs and all that and adjust it further if you want, but suspension does pretty dang good. And you know, as far as anything else with this bike, the brakes are fantastic. They're just very modulating, and they bite very well. Very good off-road brakes. As far as mods to the bike, I really haven't done much to it. It comes with flag handguards. I added the Cherubies. I like them better. Full wraparounds are nice. They fit very nice to the bike. I did add a Nibby carb right there. The bike does come with a Nibby carb. I'm not the OEM carb that comes with it. I'm not really sure if it is a Nibby or a knockoff. I don't know, but the Nibby that you get off of Amazon there, it's a genuine Nibby for sure. It's way better. It idles smoother. It definitely has more low end because it is a little bit smaller carb. So I would definitely recommend this carburetor for this bike. Yeah, it just starts better with it. I haven't really done much else to it. Those WP forks came from my fse250e, but the SEC are freaking awesome too. So there's nothing really. That's what's great about these GPX bikes, is you don't really have to do a lot to them. Like they come with everything you need. They're pretty awesome. So as far as I really love GPX as a brand. I love the customer service. I love the community. So as far as this bike goes, if this bike were to be stolen or something like that, I totally would buy another one. I think it's just a great bike, and a lot of people, as I said before, pass up on the bike because they see it as air-cooled and old technology, but I love air-cooled. It's simplistic, reliable, and if you like those Honda XR bikes, you're gonna love this. This is better than a Honda XR as far as suspension and handling, and the engine is just great. Just gobs of torque. So as far as 1,000 miles with Elcar's ADV, recommend this bike. Engage. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little 1,000-mile review here, and if you guys got any questions, just leave a comment on the page, and until then, live long and ride.